Okay, let's just dive right in. Today, we are tackling what is, hands down, the most notorious, the most feared, and honestly, maybe the most exciting card in the entire tarot deck. We're going to finally demystify the Death card.
So, let me ask you something. When you think of tarot, what's the one card that just instantly pops into your head? Maybe with, a little shiver of dread. Yep, if you're like most people, it's this one. And that's exactly why we're breaking it down today.
And let's be real, that fear is totally understandable. I mean, look at the imagery, the name itself. It all just screams something final and kind of scary. But what if I told you that this card isn't about an ending you should be afraid of, but a beginning you should absolutely welcome?
And that brings us to the most crucial point of this whole explainer. We're about to bust the biggest myth in tarot, the one that's caused so much unnecessary anxiety around this incredibly powerful card.
Okay, so this slide just gets right to the heart of it. Let's get this out of the way right now. The source material is crystal clear on this. This card is not, I repeat, not a predictor of physical death. Pretty much every reader agrees that's not what tarot is for. The card's true power is all in the metaphor.
So, if it's not literal death, then what on earth is it? It's transformation, plain and simple. It's the universe basically tapping you on the shoulder and saying, hey, a huge, dramatic, and totally necessary change is here. Think of it like one door closing, maybe even slamming shut, so that a brand new one can swing wide open.
All right, so how does this actually play out when you draw the card? Well, when the Death card shows up upright in a reading, it's an invitation. It's asking you to jump in and actively participate in your own evolution, to embrace the change that's on its way.
And this slide really lays out the two sides of the coin perfectly. Upright, it's all about positive momentum. You're letting go, you're moving into a new phase. But reversed, that's about digging your heels in, clinging to the past, and fighting that exact same essential change. So let's explore both sides, starting with the upright. So when it's upright, the big takeaway is that this is a positive upheaval. Think of it like a spiritual spring cleaning. It's telling you, hey, it's time to draw a line under the past, release those old beliefs that are just weighing you down, and get ready for a totally fresh start. It might feel like a shock to the system for sure, but trust me, it's ultimately for your own good.
Now, in relationships, this can mean it's finally time to end something that just isn't working anymore. Or it could be about shedding old, damaging patterns so the relationship can actually evolve. But here's the cool part. It's not always about endings. Sometimes this card can signal a massive positive transformation, like a surprise engagement that completely changes the direction of your life.
And what about your career? Oh, this card is a major wake-up call. It's a big warning sign not to get too dependent on a job that's making you miserable. The universe might be screaming at you that it's time to take that leap, to start that new business, to just jump in with both feet. And yeah, even if it means a temporary financial shift, the lesson you're going to learn will be absolutely priceless. Okay, but what happens when we fight this natural current of change? Well, that's what the reverse death card is all about. It's really a cautionary tale about the high price you pay for staying stuck in the past.
When this card comes up reversed, it means you're clinging to some old negative energy. You're resisting a change that you know, deep down in your gut, needs to happen. But here's the thing, you can't resist it forever. That change is coming one way or another, and fighting it just makes the whole process way more painful than it needs to be.
In a relationship reading, this is a huge red flag. It points to staying with someone not out of love, but out of fear of being alone or just a sense of dependency. It's about desperately holding on to something that's already run its course. And if you're single, it can mean you're stuck repeating these self-sabotaging patterns that are keeping you from finding a really healthy partnership.
And career-wise, it's that feeling of being completely stuck. It's the energy of staying in that unfulfilling but stable job just because you're afraid of the unknown. You're basically choosing the safety of a boring routine over the possibility of real passion. This card is a direct nudge to take a hard look at what's holding you back and to finally make the changes you need to make to get where you actually want to be.
So we've looked at both sides of the coin here, the amazing transformation and the painful resistance. The natural question is, okay, so what do we do with this information? Let's talk about the path forward.
At the end of the day, it all comes down to this. The Death card isn't handing you a fixed fate. It's presenting you with a choice. It's laying out two paths in front of you. Are you going to embrace the transformation and grow, or are you going to resist it and stay stuck? The power is 100% in your hands. So if you're feeling that reversed energy, that resistance, that stuckness, the Source gives us a simple, really powerful framework. First, just be honest with yourself about what you're clinging to. Step 2, try to have a little faith that what's on the other side of this change is going to be better. And finally, just start. But one foot in front of the other. You don't have to see the whole staircase. You just have to take that first step.
And this brings us to the real question the death card is asking all of us. It's not about what's going to end. It's about what can finally begin. So I'll just leave you with this to think about. What transformation is waiting just around the corner for you?